In sports, the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks and a battle for the heart, soul, and direction of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. You can watch these incredible sports stories like Quarterback, F1 Drive to Survive, Untold, and many more now on Netflix.
Hello and welcome to a new podcast, The Paddock and The Pavilion with Stephen Wallace. In each show, Stephen will interview someone connected to the world of horse racing or cricket.
Hello everyone. The National Hunt season ended on Saturday at Sandown, and to look back at his season, I'm delighted to welcome back to The Paddock and The Pavilion, Nick Scholfield. How are you today, Nick?
Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. And very good. Got a week off this week. As you touched on before, the last day of the season was at Sandown last Saturday, but we recommenced Saturday after at Uttoxeter.
So after 1 week off, you're getting ready for the new season.
Yes, and I'm glad it's that case as well. I've had enough time off, so very much looking forward to it. And we could do with a drop of rain, as everyone probably would agree, but hopefully they water the track well and we can get plenty of runners. Yeah,
it must be pretty hard going if you fall at the moment with the lack of rain we've had. Do you enjoy summer racing?
Do I enjoy summer racing? I prefer winter racing, but I don't dislike summer racing. But obviously I prefer winter racing a lot more than I would prefer summer racing.
What are the main differences then?
Probably lesser horses running. It's not quite as full on. Less runners. Quicker ground. It's probably more lower grade racing. But it's still races to be won. So you sort of still got to try your best. It's all year round, and then it's a bit different to the flat. Our season rolls from May to April. So. That's how our season's judged. It's slightly different to the flat, and you sort of got to keep going, all the way through.
When do you get a break? Do you ever get a summer holiday? I mean, you've had a season where you've been off a lot, so you're probably looking forward to getting going again. But do you like to get a summer holiday if you can?
Usually at times in August or some, normal circumstances, it would be this week. But different lads go off different times, but in our game, your suspensions or your injuries, that might mean you go away then. But there is a break in August and September, a week and 10 days. So that's an obvious time to go away before the winter horses start getting going.
Well, just looking back at last season, you rode 17 winners in a quite injury interrupted season. What are your own reflections on last season?
Yeah, it's obviously a lot down from previous seasons, but due to COVID and suspensions and injuries and, one thing after another. But, I was really pleased the way that we finished off with the Cheltenham Festival winner and, it was riding for a lot of different people. So hopefully we can continue that into the season.
Yeah, you mentioned the Cheltenham Festival where you won the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual Handicap Chase on Sky Pirate. That must have been your highlight of the season.
Yeah, quite right. It's so difficult to get a winner at Cheltenham, and it's just the ice, and it can make your year a winner at Cheltenham. So I wouldn't want to give that away. That's for sure.
And you must have been pleased to get the ride back, because while you were injured, Tom Scudamore and John Joe O'Neill Jr. rode the horse.
Yeah, I have a long association with the owner, rode for him for a number of years now, and he was very good. He trusted my fitness, and I was glad I could reward him with a winner. And it was great to ride a winner for John Joe O'Neill, who needs no introduction, and it was even nicer that you could ride it for Mr. Tatham as well.
What will be the targets for Sky Pirate next season, do you think?
I'd imagine he'll be in the top end races. He's got a mark of 162 now, so handicaps could be quite tough for him. But that he's overachieved this year, so take nothing away from the horse, and let's hope he can back it up next year and in sort of Group 1 company.
Well, he'll be an exciting horse to ride for you next winter. Yeah. What was it like riding at Cheltenham and coming into the winners' enclosure with no crowd?
To be honest, I didn't really mind it. It's when you're out on the track, it's every bit the same. There's no difference, and obviously you don't have the people cheering when you're walking back down, but you still have that buzz of the winning achievement because you know what it takes to win there. And I can't say it knocked the victory for myself. I appreciated it every much as if the crowds were there, and you just haven't got the people there congratulating you on the day. But my phone was red hot as soon as I seen it. But it was, I still got that appreciation of the winner there.
I suppose after all, lack of crowds for so long now, you've got used to crowds not being there. But at least at Cheltenham, you get that interview at the end with Matt Chapman.
Yeah, he's a top man, and he knows the stuff, Matt, and he appreciates the racing as much as we do. And it was. You don't mind talking to him at the top of Cheltenham Hill.
And in the Grand National, you picked up the ride on Lord de Menil for trainer Richard Hobson. When did you first sit on him?
A few days before. It was a good ride to pick up. He won the trial, and it was a good ride going into the race. But he didn't quite perform as well as we hoped. But he was a good ride for a circuit. But just the ground was a bit tight for him. His best form's on softer conditions, and he was just feeling it going out on the second circuit. So I pulled him up. But if it did ever come up soft ground in the Grand National, you'd have every chance. And but he's just a mud specialist, and unfortunately, he didn't get his conditions this year.
Yeah, because you rode him very prominently. Was that always the way to ride him in that race?
Yeah, and all his previous races and how he's won his races has been prominent, and if not making the running. And on soft ground, he can maintain that gallop, but he just can't maintain it on good ground.
But he handled the fences okay.
Yeah, he jumped really well. He's got. I'm sure he'd jump even better on softer ground, on conditions he likes. And but it was a great race, great spectacle. Unfortunately, Irish took over once again. But it's a very high-class race nowadays, and you need a hell of a good horse to win it.
Yeah, on the subject of the Irish, what a day for horse racing and the sport with Rachel Blackmore winning on Minella Times. She's a brilliant jockey. And after her exploits at Cheltenham, what did you think to Rachel winning the Grand National?
It's fantastic. She's a great ambassador for the sport. She's very dedicated. She's very good. And she's, a nice person to go with it. And, and she's sort of male or female. She's very good at what she does. And, I think she quite rightly got the publicity she deserved. But I think the trainer deserves just as much, if not more. He trained to the Gold Cup first and second. He trained the first and second of the Grand National and champion hurdle winner and numerous other big races. And I think Henry de Bromhead is really, what he's done this year is phenomenal, and what a trainer he is. Yes,
that's certainly true. So he won all the big races at the back end of the season, didn't he? The other thing I wanted to focus on are your thoughts on the danger you encounter every day as a jockey. Is that something you actually think about when you're out riding?
No, if I'm honest. No, you try and just you do it. You love the horses, and I enjoy riding horses, and no matter what they're doing. And I just don't look at it as a danger. I look at it as doing something that they enjoy and what I enjoy, and you're trying to get the best out of each other and find the key to different things. And it's probably more of a puzzle than a danger sometimes.
How often nowadays do jockeys fall off? Is it like 1 in 10, 1 in 20?
It's not a statistic I look at, if I'm honest. I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't have a clue. I suppose it depends what you're riding a lot of the time, but it can't be. It's not good. And we've had some awful news recently, and of Lorna Brooke, who was a great stalwart of the weighing room, and it was terrible what happened to her recently. So thoughts very much go with her, and I speak for everyone in the weighing room, and it's never nice. And when things like that happen, it just shows the dangers of our sport. And it's very hard pill to take when something bad does happen like that. But I'm sure she was doing what she wanted, and she loved the sport, and it's just unfortunate when something bad like that happens.
Yeah, and it must have been hard for yourself because you were actually at the course that day, I think, at Taunton, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in the race. Didn't quite appreciate how bad it initially was, and but you just can't help but think about it, and thoughts go out to her and her family, and all the people connected to her, and the racing industry was hit hard by that.
Certainly. Well, thanks for those words, and as you said, all our thoughts go out to her friends and family. On that subject, has the protection for you as a jockey changed much in the last 12 years since you've been riding?
I suppose there's more rules to it now, and more back protectors, and the hats are a bit safer, but not loads, not massively. And there's always safety measures. We have safety officers within the jockeys, within the stewards, and they're always looking to make the track safer and make sure the trainers are doing their job properly to make it safe for when they do go to the track. And I suppose they do all they can to make it safe.
And after someone who's had a bad injury like yourself, what tests do you have to go through to confirm that you're then fit to ride? I know back in when I've spoken to Richard Pittman in their day, it was basically hardly anything really. They could just walk in the room and they could say they were fit to ride, where I'm sure it's a lot more stringent now. Yeah,
it's a lot different now. We have a chief medical advisor called Dr. Jerry Hill, who works for the BHA, and he's the doctor for all the jockeys, and you have to pass his thing. You have to obviously get your surgeon or your doctors, whoever's looking after you at the time, report, and then you have to go and see the physios at either Oaksey House or Sir Peter O'Sullivan House or Jet Barry House, and get their report, and also pass a fitness test, and show your well-being, that you're fit, and he'll make a decision on all those reports, and then he'll deem you to be fit once he has got the reports he wants. So it's not quite as easy as it used to be, but I suppose that's the right thing. I remember when I was riding years ago that you'd ride with broken bones and just not tell anyone, and hope they get better, and you could cope with it because you wouldn't want to be missing rides. But it's not quite that easy nowadays, and but it's probably we're in the 20th century, and so be it. That's how it should be.
So do you almost have like a jockey passport to confirm that you're fit to ride?
Yeah, it's like anything now. It's all done online, but effectively it's that. Yeah.
And presumably the Injured Jockey Fund places, Jack Barry House, Peter O'Sullivan House, make a lot of difference as well.
Yeah, and I really appreciated it this year because they were the only gyms that are open during COVID, and it really helped the rehab situation. And they're fantastic for people that have had career-ending injuries and financial support, and there's endless things that they do for sport, and it's a charity that I'll always support, and I hope everyone else does too, because the things they do behind closed doors is remarkable, and it's very much appreciated from everyone in the racing industry, not just jockeys.
Yes, because we've got Oaksey House, which would probably be nearest to yourself.
Yeah, I've used them all at different occasions, and they're all up to high standard, and they have fantastic people working for them, and we're very lucky to have that as a as a backbone to the sport.
And I guess in the last 12 months you've used them perhaps more than ever. Yeah, and I'm certain I wouldn't have got back as quick as I did without them, and they've got some fantastic facilities, from a hydro pool to gyms to, there's, ice, compression things. There's all, they've really got that high work machines to help speed up your recovery. So, and the people they got working for them are to a very high level. And it's a fantastic thing, and we're very lucky to have it. Well, let's hope you're not going to be using them too often in the 2021-22 season. Thank you very much again for being on the Paddock and the Pavilion, and I hope you squeeze in a summer holiday at some point during the summer racing. Yeah, no, thank you for having me on, and we'll look forward to seeing some of you at the races soon with a bit of luck. Thanks very much, Nick.
Thank you for listening to the Paddock and the Pavilion. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and now on Instagram at the Pad and Pav. Don't forget, if you like the show, please do leave us a rating and review.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.